Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at this Panasonic Toughbook CF-27. Now this is quite an old laptop, but before I talk to you about the specifications and everything, as you can see it's still in the box from eBay, so I'll just take off all the packaging and then let's have a look. And now for the moment of truth. Well, here is the little power brick here, or the transformer, and we've got the plug for it. The rest of it's not actually attached, so it can easily be put together just by connecting these two. There we are. Right, let's put this over to one side for the moment. Now we've got the original carry case here. Oh, which looks old anyway. What's that? The person who packed this did it well. Right, so let's get the box out of the way. God, this thing. Here we go. Literally that weighs about half a ton. It is so heavy. Oh gosh. Right. And here it is. Well, I don't know what you would call it. It's more like the sort of mass of a dead star. Let's open it up. Well, a dead sun, I suppose you'd call it. Here it is. Now it is in need of some restoration from first glance because it is so mucky and horrible. Here's the screen, non-reflective, which is nice, and I reckon this will be a two-parter. Today, well, in this one anyway, this will be the overview and booting it up to see if it works, then the restoration. Oh gosh, look at that old retro sticker over there for the Pentium. Cool, blimey. Right. So let's just do the usual tour around the unit and then plug it in and see if it boots. So, this is going to make my arms hurt tomorrow. Around this side we've got something. What is that? Hang on a minute, I'll get my chair over. My creaky chair, here we go. So I'll slot that to the side, I presume. I presume this is for the, like the hard drive or something. There we are, that's coming off. Reset. Oh, that's expansion bay, I think. Right. Let's put that back on again. At least we know where to turn it on from as well. Around this side we've also got this loose piece of rubber which should be slotted in slightly more, but that's the charge port. Good to know that's there anyway. Right, and around this side we've got, oh, what was it called, PC2 or something, port there, USB obviously 1.0 and a headphone and a microphone jack there. I presume that's some sort of, oh, I don't know actually, some sort of cable to plug it into another computer with, possibly some form of monitor connection. Right, and that's VGA, that's printer port, I've seen these before. That one, I can't remember the name of, but I'll get back to that later anyway. And around the other side, this is what I found funny about this unit on eBay. It's got like a desktop sized optical drive in the actual unit. Sorry, in the actual unit. That is madness. And this bit's, oh no, I thought it was jammed, maybe not. That's good. Right. And obviously around the front here, we have, that's another on button. Is that like a power on? Yes, it is. God blimey, that actually can power it on. And we've got ones for the email, phone call. That is weird and slightly insane as well. So let's open this up and plug it in. Like I say, it is filthy. It does need a good clean because it's, well, Panasonic Toughbooks usually be found in places like garages because obviously they get very greasy and dirty there, and to this kind of laptop it wouldn't even matter. Or in a small working environment. I mean, these weren't really designed for home users anyway. So if I plug this in, here we go. Now, I presume I'll press the button down the bottom here. Yes. Or I could do that thing at the side, couldn't I? Or was that at the back? I can't even remember where that was. Oh, it's underneath it. There we are. See, the buttons are illuminated now. Oh, okay then. Save to disk partition not found. Save to disk feature is disabled. Run PH disk for information. Partition consult manual, hit any key to exit. And it's got a CMOS clock error. That's obviously run out years ago. Previous boot incomplete. Well, let's just go F1 resume and hope for the best. And it's booting into Windows 98. Now, time to talk about the specifications. So, this unit has 64 megabytes of SD RAM, expandable to an amazing 192 megabytes of RAM. It's got a 6.4 gigabyte HDD. It's got a Pentium 2 processor. Well, at least we know the speakers are working properly. And, well, about 200 megabytes of that is going to be taken up by, obviously, Windows 98. And, what was I going to say? Yes, Pentium 2 processor clocked in at 300p megahertz. And it run on either Windows 98, like this one, or Windows NT 4.0. And it's got 2.5 megabytes of video memory. Brilliant. Apparently it's got a touch screen, which I don't believe, because no. I saw that on the blooming, what do we call it though? It's specifications page by Panasonic, of all people. Oh, hang on. And there's something wrong with, we've got a resistive touchpad. Reminds me of my old phone. You have to sort of press down really hard on it in order for it to move. Otherwise, if you just try to go along lightly, it doesn't work. You just have to sort of press down. There we are. Right, so let's have a look around at what programs are installed on this machine. So on the desktop we can see we've got Inter-Video WinDVD. Mildly remember that. It was quite frankly, that was one of the pieces of bloatware that came with an older computer that I once owned. USB safe remover, which looks like a load of tower blocks. Well, we've got Microsoft Office on here as well, which is quite nice. And Outlook Express, oh dear. Let's open the start menu, shall we? So we've got OpenOffice on here as well, which is quite nice. God blimey, there's lots of programs. I presume some of these are going to be Red Alert. What is that? Oh, I think that was an old Star Trek game. Although it's got an old Soviet Union hammer and sickle on it, so I don't think so. Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds, Rogue Squadron, Yoda Stories, wonder what that's about. Curse of Monkeyland, whatever that is. Master Clips browser, shall we have a look at that? Is this some sort of web browser? I presume that's some sort of advanced, for the time anyway, animation thing. Star Trek Armada. Oh, blimey. That should be fun. I'll play that later because that looks fun. High speed USB IDE. Do you know what, actually, I don't think this, at the end of its working life anyway, I don't think it was actually a workplace computer, because you wouldn't have all these games on a working PC. Dial-up networking. Shall we have a look at the Welcome to Windows thing? It makes a little tune when you do this, usually. Oh God, that's terrible. Close that immediately. So as you can see, there are some minor issues with the speaker drivers, and that will be rectified shortly. That's if I don't disconnect the speakers altogether. Oh gosh, that was terrible. I don't know if they still do. Well, I don't know what legacy support Panasonic has got for their obviously older computers. So I would have to obviously have a look at that. Maybe there'll be some drivers on Beta Archive websites, but who knows. So I think that's about it. I'm going to have a look through this computer now to make sure there are no obviously personal files left on this machine apart from the games, which look quite fun. And I believe that basically rounds it up for this part of this two-parter episode on the Panasonic Toughbook CF-27. Shall we have a look at the wallpapers before we go? I just thought I usually look through the wallpapers and things like that. That first boot. Bubbles. Oh, I don't know. Windows 98. So that is. That's an active desktop. Right. Okay. Right, well there we are. Already it's got a nicer background rather than just solid white. So, as I say, do hope you enjoyed this video. Now, obviously, the second part will be the restoration. That'll be mainly cleaning up the PC outside and inside, obviously software-wise, and it's just living. If I just put the camera down, you can see it's just filthy, like around the trackpad, and if I zoom in over here, you can see it's quite mucky over there. The screen, when it was off, it was all bad. Don't like it. So I'll clean it out, then we can actually have a look at other things like this carry case which came with it. See if there's anything interesting where that came from. I mean, it's quite bland. I mean, it's just a solid black and there's no like carry handles on it or anything. So we'll have a look at both of those things anyway. Maybe that's there is some writing on it which I can't really make out that well. Targus I think it is. So yeah, maybe that's just an aftermarket, obviously laptop carrier, in which case I don't know if I'll keep it. So yeah, it's obviously going to be an interesting restoration, and just looking at this thing I can already see there's crap, non-YouTube word, rubbish under the keyboard that will have to be cleared out anyway. And I have got the correct equipment for doing that, just in case it's one of these keyboards I don't like having its keys removed. So yeah. Gosh, that's something else. Let's just shut this down now, and once again, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. And until the next video, goodbye.